second. Start the intro. Okay, much more shorter intro. Was that better? Should I use the back half maybe?
The
the end of the intro might be better. The end of the song. I might switch it. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But there you go, guys. Intro's been played. So today we are going to be talking about some interesting stuff that I was going to get into nukes, but I'm reading through the book Hiroshima, and it's, dude, guys, I just gotta tell you, JT, did you know that nukes are fake?
I mean, I've been skeptical of them since I've seen evidence that it's possible they could be fake. I'm a little hesitant to go outright and say they're definitely not real.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna do the next episode might be talking about that but when I share the evidence that I found so far, bro, I mean, there's a bunch of accounts of people talking about nukes where they when they're in survivors of Hiroshima. Oh my gosh, it's crazy. They all say that there was like multiple explosions. It was like a cluster of bombs. Like, so anyways, whole psychological operation going on there that we're gonna break into soon. Maybe
I mean, I guess the one thing I wonder if so the way that supposedly the nukes would work today would be they'd be fired from like a submarine, right? Or potentially just ballistic missiles would be shot from a long way away. But I mean, of course, the only time they've ever been used in some kind of a combat situation was, gosh, what is it, like 70 something years ago now? Like 80 years ago.
And then those places are not radiated, by the way. And there are people that live there now, and everything's fine there now. And
right. Well, I mean, that's the thing. So the thing is, no one would be able to verify if any of that stuff actually happened from there, because it would be like dead man tell no tales for the most part.
But there is people that lived it.
Oh, really?
There's stories of it. Yeah.
And that one Wolverine movie, he lived through it. Wolverine was there.
Well, Wolverine movie, yeah.
Exactly. That's the thing, is I think that's what they said about
Isn't that fascinating that they put him in the Wolverine? They put that fact in there in the Wolverine movie.
Yeah, Wolverine was there. Yeah, I want to say that's the thing about the mutants. They were the children of the atom. So that that's how they got mutated.
That even more fascinatingly wrong. I mean, it's called the atom bomb too. Like, why would you name like atom? There's so much going on with that whole situation. It's designed to create fear. It's designed to create fear in people. So it's, I want to talk about it right now.
Well, it's not only designed to create fear. We'll just say they're real or they're not real. I mean, let's just say they're real for a second. Well, clearly it's a justification to just attack people who are not attacking anyone else. I mean, that's the way it's used today. Oh, they might get one. Oh, they're working on one. Oh, they're 2 weeks away from one. So then we can justify just dropping bombs on them because we can't let them have it, because of course they'd be too dangerous if they had it.
Yeah.
I saw there was a funny meme. It was like from Breaking Bad. And they're like, we can't let these people get nukes, or they've got nukes. We got to attack them. And then it was like, why don't you attack Russia? So you crazy? They got nukes. Right? Like, of course we're not going to invade Russia. And I think that's the kind of thing. It's like a lot of these countries, well, why would they never use them?
Because they realize not legit for being used.
Right, because it's like, I mean, really think about it. It's not the way they're shown in the movies is that if Russia sent all theirs out and we sent all ours out, the whole quote unquote planet. I don't think that that's true, right? I mean, like if that's what the result is,
Oh, you're, like, glitching real bad.
am I?
Okay. The whole quote unquote "planet" will be destroyed, but I think you're
Oh,
normal
I
now.
was just saying, like, but if you see
Nope, I can't
the
hear you.
results from what we've seen from nukes, I mean,
Oh, your audio is cut. I
is
can't
it?
even hear your audio. Wait, are
Oh
you back
no.
now? You're back now.
Oh,
Okay.
is my connection bad?
Yeah, it was, like, bad. It was, like, glitching for a minute, but you said the whole planet would be destroyed, and then you were
No,
saying
I'm
something.
saying, but that's what they want us to believe is that if it's mutual assured destruction, right? Everybody fires off their nukes,
Yeah.
the whole planet gets blown up or something like that. The whole planet is made desolate. But is that
Yeah.
really true? I mean, because you could strategically strike a place where it doesn't seem like. I mean, what's the difference between what you know the pictures from Hiroshima and what Israel did to Gaza?
Dude, I was gonna say, like, that looks like it's been nuked if you look at Gaza right now, you know? Like,
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like you see some of the results of some of these wars where they just cluster bombed a place to just smithereens. Like,
smithereens,
what's
yeah.
the difference? Oh, one big bomb is way worse than I don't know, like 10,000 little ones.
Yeah.
And actually, they're
Dude,
not
it's
even little either.
no, they're definitely not little. Ugh. But, I
No,
mean,
they're huge.
you would think if there was such thing as a nuke, Israel would have used it. You know what I mean? Like, Israel would have used it on that situation.
Right. That's what I mean.
So, like, because like, the pretty much the equivalent of what they've done is nuked the entire environment there,
Yeah,
you
that's
know?
exactly what I'm talking about. And somebody mentions Dresden in the chat. That's what I was saying that what historically, even the historians say about what they did to Dresden, they firebombed this place, and that's what they did to Tokyo too. And so I want to say historically, way more people died in Tokyo from the fire bombings. And what they did to Dresden, well, like I said, the result is the same, if not worse, from the fire bombs, the
Mm.
incendiary bombs. So, like, really, like, what's up with all the pearl clutching about the different type of technology in bombs? Because if the
That's
result is the
mm,
population is just gone, every structure is ashes and ruins.
mhm.
You know what I mean? Are we kind of like arguing about a weird part of the topic?
Yeah, it's
You
kinda
know, there's
kinda
a difference
redundantly
between like I want to
ridiculous.
say like chemical weapons, which everybody realized how horrible that was because
Oh,
it's
it's
a war
evil.
crime to use
Yeah,
that
yeah.
because the way people suffer when they get like the mustard gas and stuff like that. So that kind of makes sense. But I mean, I guess, if you're going to get bombed, I mean, I guess the bigger and the quicker might be better than all the suffering.
The
Because, yeah,
bigger and the
in
quicker.
Dresden, I was telling Brian, historically, they were talking about that all the fire turned into these, like this fire wind and these fire tornadoes. I mean, at least that's
Mm.
what they say. Horrific.
Fire tornadoes, like,
Yeah, let me see if
what?
I can look some of that out.
That sounds so, like, what is that? Like, what's a fire tornado? Like, how are we making those, you know? Like, that seems so unusual. The, let me see this right here. I'm gonna bring up a video too. I'm gonna show you this video real quick. Um, this is what. All right, I got some videos. I guess we're gonna talk about bombs today because
Mhm,
why not?
mhm.
It seems like the appropriate subject. I was gonna talk about something else entirely, but you know what? I think this is the direction we need to talk about. Honestly, I feel like the Lord's saying, let's talk about it now. Even though I don't feel fully prepared to talk about it because I didn't finish reading all of my Hiroshima book, but I found enough in it that I'm gonna share some stuff with you guys because it's just fascinating to know. All right. Are you looking up something to share?
Yeah, I'm looking up what it says about the firestorms. Maybe fire tornado. I thought I read that somewhere, but they definitely talk about the firestorms.
That was the bombing though, right?
Yeah, because they were using incendiary bombs.
Yeah. Fire bombs, yeah.
So yeah, so like the result was some kind of a literal storm of fire was pouring through this, and some of the accounts
Oh,
are they're horrific.
just because the wind was blowing through and catching the fires and
Well,
stuff.
it's a situation too where people would suffocate
Yeah.
because like the fire was consuming all the oxygen in the place. So these people would not necessarily just by smoke inhalation, it was like it sucked all the air out.
Oh, wow, terrible. That's
Oh,
really
it's
disturbing.
yeah, if you that's what I'm saying. Like the people talk about like war crimes.
Mhm.
Well, it's only a war crime if you, I guess, lose the war, the things you did in
Right.
the war, because the victors, again, they write the history books. They
We
get
know
to
that.
say what actually happened and what was justifiable. But what the Allies did was beyond the pale. When you actually do look up the real story, even like I said, not just the sources I would maybe consider more valid, I would say that the actual historians, when you do look into some of the atrocities that were committed on the Allied side, and by the way, the Russians were on the Allied side, so they were on quote unquote the good side, and the Russians, the stuff they did was horrible,
Terrible.
horrible. I think would
Yeah.
happen in a lot of cases that a lot of stuff that got pinned on the Germans was stuff that the Russians did because the
Mm.
Rush, because like obviously the story goes is that Germany attacks Russia, moves all the way into like Stalingrad, they get stopped.
Mm.
And then so eventually Russia fights all the way into Berlin. So what the Germans got accused of, it's like, well, who really knows who did it by the
Well, who
time,
knows?
you know what I'm saying? Like obviously you have to take the Russians' word for it. And as far as we know, Church was it Patton said famously that we fought the wrong guys. We thought we should have been fighting the
Hmm.
Russians.
Yeah.
Because after he
Well,
saw what they
mhm,
did, evil, evil.
evil stuff. Well, let me bring this up just so we guys are clear where we're at with this.
Okay, well,
I
let
wanna
me read this.
play.
I can read this one little quick
Oh,
thing.
yeah, sure, go
See
for
if
it.
I find anything more interesting about this, what they did to Dresden. So this is a survivor's account from it. It said, "It is not possible to describe explosion after explosion. It was beyond belief, worse than the blackest nightmare. So many people were horribly burnt and injured. It became more and more difficult to breathe. It was dark, and all of us tried to leave the cellar with inconceivable panic. Dead and dying people were trampled upon. Luggage was
Mm,
left or snatched up out of the hands by rescuers. The basket of our twins, covered with wet cloths, was snatched up by my mother's hands, and we were pushed upstairs by the people behind us. We saw the burning street, the falling ruins, the terrible firestorm. My mother covered
mm,
us with wet blankets and coats she found in the water tub. Says we saw horrible things: cremated adults shrunk to the size of small children, pieces of arms and legs, dead
mm,
people, whole families burnt to death. Burning people ran to and fro, burnt coaches filled with civilian refugees, dead rescuers, soldiers. Many were calling and looking for their children and families, and fire everywhere. Everywhere, fire. All the time, the hot wind of the firestorm threw people back into burning houses they were trying to escape from. I cannot forget these terrible things. I will never forget them."
wow. That's
So it's
pretty
saying like
terrible.
that the firestorms outside would be like that they were running out of a burning house, but the firestorms on the street was pushing them back into the house they just left.
Dang. That's
Ter-
terrible.
Terrible, like I said. And at this point, Germany was already defeated, and then they did this. That's the real key to that story. And Dresden was
Mhm,
supposedly one of the most
mhm.
beautiful old world cities in Europe.
You know
It was Germany's
mhm,
version of Paris,
that's
and they just
fascinating.
destroyed it.
Well, there was probably a lot of evidence they wanted to hide of the things they were doing in Germany. I mean,
Some,
like, we
well, I
know
mean,
that
or
they
like I
were
said, maybe they were. Is this a situation where it's like,
covering up evidence.
when Molly the cow or whatever kicks over the lamp in Chicago, and the whole city looks
Yeah,
like it
yeah.
got bombed to smithereens when it was just supposedly just a kerosene lamp got kicked over and fire destroyed all kinds of crazy old world buildings.
Yeah, right, right, right. Yeah, it's whitewashing, it's covering up of evidence. They're trying to hide stuff. They've been trying to hide stuff forever. So it's like, destroy it, and then we can hide it.
Mhm.
That's basically what it is. And, I don't know if you guys know, but Hiroshima was also and Nagasaki were the 2 biggest Christian, centers in Japan. Isn't that fascinating?
Yeah, how about that?
The 2 places we bombed are the 2 biggest Christian centers, and I think they had a lot of, good like, old world structure stuff too as well, but
Oh, yeah, all
very
those places
fascinating.
do. All the places have Greco-Roman structures. Yeah, that's something you that is not something you would have ever thought that the Japanese had a lot of Christians there.
Yeah.
Not the way history is taught, because we're told that they had an emperor that was some kind of a god king, right? That they worshiped the emperor. Well, that
Yeah,
doesn't
there's
make
something like
sense
that.
if these people were Christians.
Oh, yep,
So
well
is this another lie?
mhm,
It's like that they wanted you to think that these people are other,
mhm,
right? They want you to dehumanize these people. Oh, these crazy people of the East.
mm.
But then it turns out they were Christians.
Turns out, yeah, they actually followed the
That's a big,
Jesus.
I mean, to me, that's a big live omission that we never were told that.
That is pretty disturbing. Now,
Very.
this is something I wanna share too real quick, is this is I don't think the audio is playing on it for some reason, but let's play this. So for
Oh,
those that
yeah,
haven't
yeah.
seen it, on Joe Rogan, this dude, can you not hear that? I can't hear it at
Mm.
all. Yeah, so maybe the audio's been removed. He goes, "The nukes are fake," and he goes, "Just look at the old footage." And so this dude
That's
comes on
just
Joe Rogan, and they show this footage of the nukes exploding, right? And
mhm.
so these are the buildings. Look at them, like the bomb goes off, and then and then all gets blown away. And then he's like, "But look at it. They're like miniature models." And he's like showing, and he's just like, "But the biggest thing is what happened to the camera." And it's like, how is the camera stable while all of this right now is getting destroyed, you know? And the cameras, like, you got to think, like, if it's a nuclear blast, and look right here, by the way, the car. So this is the big thing. So when this goes off, there's a car right here. See, there's no car right here. And then when it
Mhm.
plays, boom, suddenly there's a car. And so these are miniature models. And so like we realize the footage of what we think is an atomic blast literally miniature models. And that car scene right there, you realize because this is supposedly the actual footage of an atomic bomb's blast going off, but it's obviously not. Like there is a huge, this is very fake looking footage, and this is the footage they put out. But the thing is, like, how would the camera survive this and stay so stable? Like, they didn't
No,
even
it
have
wouldn't.
camera
It obviously
stability.
wouldn't. Well, we're told,
No.
like, because of the radiation stuff. Don't they even say that, what was it in the movie Ocean's 11? They had something called a, was it
Mhm.
called a pinch or something? Remember
I
they were
don't
gonna, it was
remember.
like some kind
I
of
don't know.
EMP device. And supposedly when a nuke goes off, before the devastation of the bomb, it's like it sends off like some kind of EMP signal that basically wipes out all the electronics. You ever heard that?
Interesting. No, never heard of that.
Well, that's what it was saying in this movie. Of course, this is
Yeah,
not
that sounds like
necessarily real life, it's a movie, but if you had any kind of technology there, if the bomb didn't destroy it, likely the whatever the nuclear reaction of the bomb goes off
mhm.
and it
Hmm.
shorts out electronics. But yeah, but I mean,
Hmm.
yeah, the more practical thing is you couldn't. Literally, they showed other pictures. I forget or video from that where it's like from inside the house.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
They have video from inside the house where like the mannequins are getting all torn
Oh,
up.
yeah, the mannequins are being get blown away. That is
How did
funny.
that camera survive inside that house?
That you see, that's the thing. People don't I don't know how we were so blind to this obvious fact. When you realize it, like the camera, how did the camera survive? Bro, it's based off of light, and a nuclear gas would put off so much light, it would just blind the camera, and it would radiate the footage, and the film and the footage would just be incinerated and toast because of all the light. So there's no way that the footage would even survive, let alone, like, stay stable or even be able to film such a thing. So,
Well, that's
like
back in the day when they would use film too.
yeah, that was when film was
Right,
yeah,
it's
exactly.
not like digital video, it's like it's film.
Mhm.
So the
So
film's not melting.
yeah, exactly, right, with the heat and the blast and everything, it's somehow surviving. Now, there's more to question about, uh, nuclear blast. Now, I bring this up because
Well,
I
one
dropped
quick
a
thing.
oh, yeah.
It's the one thing to consider though is, so if they're real, why are they faking it?
That
Right?
yeah,
Like, cause you know what I mean? Cause like why
absolutely.
you don't you could get a camera that's okay, this is a safe distance, but maybe you got a good zoom on it so you could still, I don't know, maybe get something. Maybe not as close, but it's very reminiscent of the stuff that NASA does. So
Mhm.
okay, so if you can get to outer space and take a picture of the whole Earth, well, then why do you need to fake the pictures? Why are they all composites?
Exactly.
So I mean, that's a real question. So if you could do that, it's really weird to fake it.
It's very weird to fake
So
it.
I mean, yeah. So I think
Mhm.
it goes hand in hand. But I mean, it does make sense that
Mhm.
this is during the Cold War, and they want everyone to be freaked out that Russia could any moment, oh, they're putting missiles in Cuba. Oh, they're doing
Mm.
this, they're doing that. And any second, you're gonna have to get under your desk. Like that would matter. Like literally, they taught the boomers to get under their desk to avoid getting blown up somehow.
Well, yeah, get under bow. They're telling you to bow is what they're telling you to do. They're telling you get on your knees and bow.
But it makes sense though that the whole point of like the Cold War was that we supposedly bankrupted the Russians by this arms race. And if the only way this arms race works is if people are afraid.
Yeah.
You know how much money the military industrial complex made during the arms race,
Oh,
where they
I'm
were just
sure.
supposedly they could blow up the world like, I don't know, like 100 times. Like, what is the
Yeah,
point of that? If that was
supposedly.
true,
If
like,
that was
what is
true,
the
yeah.
point? Isn't one time enough?
Yeah, yeah. Is it one time enough to blow
We
up
could
the
already blow
world?
it up the whole thing once. Okay, we're good.
But yeah, see, that's the thing. I don't see yeah, I know. What one time of blowing up the world is insane. But the fact that they think that we can blow it up to me is just like, no, we can't. We can't blow that up. But that's that it's all fake. It's designed to create fear. These are fear doors that cause you to do that. And that's why they have people under their desk bowing down and doing this kind of stuff. Now, there was a single book. I'm just going to share this video about Hiroshima specifically because she says it really well here. And I was reading through this book, and it's so fascinating when you read through it because you realize a lot of stuff may not be exactly what we think it is.
Hello. This book never comes in with a dust jacket.
Mm-mm,
This is a really nice
mm,
copy. It has, not only does it have the cover, but on the back it has the 6 people John Hershey
mm-mm.
interviewed. He snuck into Hiroshima to write this book. This is one of the top 10 books of the 20th century. This book prevented World War III because all the stupid dictators had smart advisors, and they read this and they saw how the civilian population suffered. Uh, let's get a good shot of the cover there. They weren't all even Japanese. One was I think, a German citizen who was in Hiroshima when the bomb dropped. Anyway, I strongly recommend you read this book. It changed everything because it showed the horrific. It was eyewitness accounts of surviving the bomb, and it changed everything about our cavalier attitude toward using nuclear weapons. This is why only 2 bombs have been dropped on populations and not 2 dozen. It's
Right.
why the Cuban Missile Crisis was resolved the way it was, because people knew how bad it would be if the weapons were used. Um, anyway, this is a short post, just one book. It's that important.
Huh. So I think it's pretty funny, actually, a lot of what she says. But yeah, what do you think, JD?
I don't know. I don't know if I believe that. You know, it's funny that historically that when Truman told I forgot who was the guy, was it Anslinger or something like that? One of these guys in the
Mhm.
United States government. When this is what they say. Again, this is supposedly that when they told Stalin about that we had nukes, then they said he didn't
Mhm.
even blink. Like he was not moved at all.
When what?
Well, like supposedly they're prepping for like the post-war, right? So there's obviously lots of people concerned that the Russians took all this territory that the Germans had and they're not going to give it back. So
Mhm.
they're kind of maybe trying to show them, like the Russians, that hey, we got this new secret weapon that you don't want to mess with us. And then supposedly when they revealed it to Stalin, Stalin didn't even care, or he didn't
Mm.
act like he cared. Maybe because he knew
He knew it
it
was
was
all,
BS.
yeah,
Maybe
fake.
he knew it was total BS. Because if it
Well,
was real,
mhm.
then you would have reason to be concerned. If like you just saw what like the Americans are crazy. Did you see what they just did to Japan? Like if they could fly right over Moscow and do that, like that place is toast. But for some reason, he was not
Hmm.
bothered, and he did all the things that he did afterwards.
That's fascinating.
So maybe it
Well,
was just like, yeah, 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 sure, you got
yeah.
this super bomb, sure.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, right. Yeah, sure. So, well, here's the funny part. I read the book. So, and this is what I'm going to leave you guys with because it's very interesting when you read it. I'm just going to read some excerpts from the book because I thought it was fascinating. Here's one. It says, blah, blah, blah. He's talking to another dude. It says, "What do you think it was?" Dr. Machi said, or Mishi, "It must have been a Molotov Fano Hanakago, okay? A Molotov flower
Oh,
basket,
obviously.
okay?" And he goes, "A Molotov flower basket, delicate Japanese name for the bread basket, a self-scattering cluster of bombs." So, this guy's account recounting what he thinks the bomb was a self-scattering cluster of bombs, okay? Now here's
What
another
if it was
one.
like the Jericho
Mhm.
missile? Remember when in Iron Man, remember he had the Jericho missile and it
Yeah.
shot out all over the
Shot yeah,
place?
yeah, 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 that's what it probably was. It's a Now here's another one. It says, a gas or a big cluster of incineraries. Okay, it says, blah, blah, blah. This is a different quote. It says, "Those victims who were able to worry at all about what had happened thought of it and discussed it more primitive, childish terms. Gasoline sprinkled from an airplane, maybe, or some combustible gas, or a big cluster of incineraries, or the work of uh, parachutes. But even if they had known the truth, most of them were too busy to worry or too badly hurt to care that they were the objects of the first great experiment in the use of the atomic power." So, like, bro, sorry guys, I have to read. I'm slow reading, and you know that. Y'all watched. But anyways, it's just so funny because do you hear what he even said? He said, even if they knew the truth. Isn't that fascinating? The guy, this is the
Well,
author.
that's kind of what I was saying. It's like, I mean, if the whole place you live in is flattened, do you really care what kind of bomb it was?
Well, yeah, exactly.
I think that's what it's saying. It's kind of irrelevant. It's like regardless of the result is this.
Mhm.
So if somebody told me it was going to take 3 bombs to blow up my house or one, the main question is like, you're going to blow up my house?
You're gonna blow.
Does this
Yeah,
has nothing to
exactly.
do
Yeah.
with like what they're going to do to use? Like that doesn't matter to me.
Well, see there's a significance in this understanding is because they use this propaganda to try to scare us. Like right now, we're going into Iran because there's nukes. It's like, well, clearly the nukes don't matter. Obviously, the nukes are there. You see what they're doing to Israel right now. Obviously, the nukes don't you don't care about nukes. Here's one other quote right here. It says, he was much surprised to see glass all over the floor and 50 or 60 injured people already waiting to be treated. That reflected that although the all clear had sounded and he had heard no planes, several bombs must have been dropped. So this guy's on his account, he assumed that Several bombs must have been dropped. So now I asked ChatGPT, and I was like, ChatGPT, why are there stories and accounts of people saying that it was multiples of bombs? Like, and what accounts are there? Apparently, there's a lot of people that said it was a bunch of bombs. It was cluster of bombs. It was a group of bombs, a massive amount of bombs. Now, I bring this up because this is what we're afraid of, right? We're afraid of the nukes. The nukes, they're gonna get the nukes, guys. Guys, the nukes aren't real. It's a fear tactic to scare you, so that way we support horrendous activities of terribleness. Okay, but here's something else that's fascinating. I love this guy. This is the doctor. He's brings up so many good things. Here's just some old footage of the same Hiroshima situation. Check it out.
So the first nuclear bomb was dropped on Hiroshima in August 6th of 1945, right? And this is what they tell us Hiroshima looks like a mere 4 days later. So this is Hiroshima, August 10th, 1945,
Still
4
tall
days after the nuclear
buildings.
bomb that was dropped on it. How
Huh.
are these streets perfectly cleared in 4 days? How are there people walking around in a nuclear fallout site? This whole
with their
area should be
umbrellas.
heavily irradiated. How are there still wooden trees and wooden utility poles here in a site where a nuclear bomb went off? This is in Nagasaki. This is in Nagasaki right afterwards as well. You see a completely unscathed wooden utility pole. I understand if you might see some like wooden utility poles slightly scorched but are still standing. That's okay, maybe to be expected. Even though it's a massive nuclear bomb that just detonates and supposed to wipe everything out. Was Hiroshima and Nagasaki bombed? Yeah, absolutely. But was it bombed by a nuke? I highly doubt it. I don't think nukes are real, to be honest with you. I think that's part of the whole fakery they use in this system to control us, to keep us scared, to keep us worried that we're always going to be under the threat of nuclear annihilation.
Right? Isn't
Well,
that
it's interesting.
fascinating?
I thought about this, and I was wondering aloud.
Mhm.
Well, now I'm wondering aloud. I was saying there's no videos of them dropping the bombs on Hiroshima or Nagasaki. Why
No.
not? There's pictures in the distance of a mushroom cloud. That's it.
There's
There's all kinds of
interesting.
videos from World War II. They wouldn't want to videotape that or film that.
That's very true. Very true. I
I
feel
mean, you
like they
couldn't,
would.
you got this B-52, you got this massive flying fortress. Somebody couldn't have held a camera to video that or to record that. That's a little suspicious.
It's very suspicious. And in
very
fact,
suspicious.
there's a man that survived both blasts. You know that?
He was wait a minute, he was in one city and then he went to the other city.
Yep. And
I'm glad I made it at that place.
Now, I'm going to bring his testimony up. Let me see if I can find it real quick here, because life after 2 bombs. Let's see if I can find him. All right, we'll just play this little section here, I guess. Now, this is fascinating because one of the statements he says to the doctor at the hospital, he goes, "It was one bomb." He says, "It was one bomb." And the doctor says, "You're crazy." He says, "There's no way it's one bomb." And then they get bombed right then. And so you're like, wow, that's fascinating. But you got to ask yourself, why did the doctor say you're crazy? It wasn't one bomb. And you got to think, was it because the doctor could tell or knew that it was multiple bombs and it wasn't just one bomb? And this guy's story is fascinating, but he survived both bombs completely unirradiated somehow and lived to be like 94 or something when they did the interview of him. It's just, that right there should surprise you.
Yamaguchi would never regain the hearing in his left ear, and he would spend the next decade wrapped in bandages and tending to wounds that refused to heal. As incomprehensible as all he experienced is, however, life must go on. And that's exactly what happened for Yamaguchi. He continued. He soldiered on. During the Allied occupation of Japan, he sought out work, assisting in translation
So
efforts
this is
initially, and then eventually being hired on officially as an interpreter for the Allied forces. And in the early 1950s, he and his wife, who also survived the Nagasaki bombing, thankfully, had a
his
son
wife.
and 2 daughters. With a family to feed, he needed more stable employment, so he returned to work for Mitsubishi, once again designing oil tankers. And while
Now, this dude was literally survived both the blasts, and his wife survived both the blast. And they try to say that like made it exaggerated, like he was like suffering from stuff or whatever. There's other interviews. He's totally fine. He had children. He had children, as you can see, that were not irradiated. They were totally fine. Okay.
They
Like
weren't mutants.
he didn't have mutant children. Okay. And like not
And
only
his
that,
son was named Logan.
yeah, son was named Logan. Exactly. Yeah, no, it was named. It was yeah.
Or maybe
Exactly.
his name was Logan.
Yeah, maybe he was the Logan. Yeah, but I mean, like, who wrote the story of Logan? Wasn't it
Of course, it was Stanley
Marvel
and Jack Kirby
Stanley?
wrote all that
Weren't
stuff.
they like involved in a bunch of other occultic stuff and I mean making up
Yeah.
things? Isn't that fascinating?
Oh, those
Isn't
guys
that
are all connected with the CIA. All of them.
yeah. Yeah, exactly. So it's just like it's so absurd that he's writing this and like he you can look the dude up. And so like he's the by the way, he's the only one that there was announced. I'm just going to show you his face too. He's the only one that Japan has recognized as the survivor of both blasts. This guy right here. Okay? He's the only one that Japan has recognized. Does he look like he's suffering with festering wounds that he's just all over
How
his
old is he right
body?
there? He looks pretty good for
Bro, he'd lived to be 90 something, or I don't know how he was 90 when he did the interview. Does this man look like a man covered in festering wounds and just
No, he looks fine.
yeah, right. Exactly. Like he's just chilling with this thing. Like, bro, yep. He's like suffering his whole life. But do you hear how that was the video we just watched made it sound so terribly scary of like, oh my gosh, because he survived both blasts. But here's the thing, they're the only one that is recorded and announced of this. And so you got to think like that's I mean, it's kind of silly. Okay. It's kind of silly that it's like that because they want you to think that he's just like been radiated and he's toast from nuclear blast explosion. It's like, yeah, sure, you got some cuts. Maybe you got some sores that don't heal right because that's what happens when you get burned and like torched or something terrible
You know,
happens
you
to you,
could
right?
probably get all kinds of other things if you got involved in an explosion that turned concrete buildings to dust.
Yeah,
You can
yeah,
get all kinds
exactly.
of diseases from forgot what they call that
The dirt.
when you have like silica, like you can get poisoned by silica.
Oh, really? Oh, I didn't know about that. I didn't
Yeah,
know
we
about
that was
that.
something we had to worry about in construction. That was like because everybody knows about asbestos, but they probably use asbestos in those old buildings too. So if they blew them all up and you inhaled all the stuff that was in them, you could probably get sick, right? And then,
That
but yeah,
makes
more
sense.
recently,
Mhm.
like OSHA started cracking down on silica, and so
Oh,
like
really?
they mess with us in drywall, but drywall is really not. We don't deal with that much silica, but silica would be more like if you're grinding into like concrete and you got all that crap blowing into your face. Yeah, heck yeah, you can get sick. I think that's kind of common sense that you wear a mask and goggles if you
Mm.
had all that debris coming in you. But I mean, you can imagine all the other things, results of breathing in stuff after a massive explosion or many massive explosions.
Exactly.
Many massive
Which
explosions.
which I wanted to show the video clip. I can't find it right now, but he's talking to the doctor, and the doctor he's like says, "You're crazy." I want to find that clip. I'll have to make another video or something. But it's just funny because you're like, even the doctor knew that it wasn't just one bomb, but this is all a narrative that they're trying to push, and they want it to be so scary. That's why they want this guy to tell his story. There was other survivors of the blast, bro. There's a whole bunch of people that survived the blast. There's like 2 memorials of survivors, and they all have their documented stories, but they were all like a lot of their stories, they discredited them and said, "No, that's not it," because these people wrote stories and said there was multiple bombs. And so they said, "Nope, nope, we're not gonna validate your story." We're not gonna. And so like he's like one of the only ones that survived both blasts that they said, yep, that's true. The other ones, they're like, well, no, you saw multiple bombs. You didn't see it right how we wanted the narrative to look. So we're gonna discredit your
You didn't
story.
see. You saw one big bomb.
You saw a big bomb. That's all
They
you
got the
saw.
Jedi mind trick on him.
Yeah, yeah. That's
Well, the truth is that it is sort of interesting when you consider that they picked about the furthest place away from the United States to do this.
Yeah, it's true.
Isolated on some island.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Like if you really consider, if you really think about it like that, like the story is really going to be hard to get out. Versus if they would have used it in
English as well.
Yeah, if they would have done this in Europe, if they'd have done it in Europe, it would have been a lot more people to probably talk about it.
Yeah, and it would have spread more. Yeah. And it's, dude, they're so isolated there. And it's like, bro, they did it to these people literally to create a narrative to push this fear tactic of nukes. And now we are here today telling you that we got to stop Iran because they're going to get nukes. And oh no, we got to stop them. Like, dude, it's such an insane narrative when you start to realize, like, dude, the narrative they're giving us is not even remotely true. Like, none of it.
Do you want to watch a video of them testing a nuke on Bikini Atoll?
Oh, yeah, yeah, Bikini. Which, by the way, just so you guys know, this is actually where SpongeBob comes from.
Yeah, it's Bikini Bottom, right?
It's Bikini Bottom, yeah. And they were supposedly like, and you see them on that little island, they're supposedly mutant creatures from the nuclear
is that the story of SpongeBob? That's why all the creatures can talk?
Yep, that's why. That's literally one of the narratives. I don't know if it's like an official narrative.
X-Men in SpongeBob.
Bro, do you see how much there's programming us? It's just, dude, it's all programming your brain all the time to think in the back of your head that nukes are bad. Nukes are bad. They create mutations. They create monsters. They create this. They destroy you. They kill people. Like you're being propagandized to believe that there's this wicked, evil, great thing all over the world. But yeah, share this Bikini Bottom, bro. I want to see this Bikini Bottom viz.
This I mean, warning to you, bro. I'm not sure if this is going to be copyright. You can obviously trim it out of the video later. I think it's probably this is whatever. This should be fine. You can always just cut this segment. So if you guys are seeing it live, you'll get to see it. But if anybody else, this video is available everywhere.
For tests on the island of Bikini, couldn't know its implications.
Yeah.
Just look at the ships down there. Do you think they look fake?
I love the music, bro. Look at they add the music to this. How are we this high up filming in an airplane?
Yeah, if you look at the beginning again, we don't.
It's just water
on the island of Bikini. Couldn't know its implications.
Look at the ships.
Yeah. But it's just water. That's just a water
Dude,
explosion.
You know what? Dude, just look at the. Let me turn the music down.
It's a cloud, bro. Look, that's a cloud. It's creating clouds.
Yeah, but just check this out. Just consider this, bro. Okay, so supposedly they dropped the bomb, right? Am I wrong about that? Obviously, we don't see the bomb dropping. Let's start from the very beginning. Okay, so there's ships right here, right?
Wasn't there people on the ships that supposedly got like cooked slightly?
No, I don't think so. I think that they were. We'll talk about the ships later.
Supposedly.
We'll talk about the ships later, but look how relatively unaffected the ships are until
they're just chilling.
Till the explosion gets to them.
It's just water. It's just a water thing.
Yeah, but
they're
I mean, look,
chilling.
But the water does not move.
Yeah, no, it doesn't, because it's clouds. It's mist. That's just mist and clouds. That's all that is.
I know, but wouldn't there be like a massive tidal wave?
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, I mean, it would be, but that's the thing. It's not a big thing. It's just it's making a cloud. All it's doing is exploding the air and making clouds. So that's a big cloud going out. It's not even a wave. It's not even a wake. It's not even. Look, see, it's still at peace.
What I'm saying is, do we have any reason to believe this is not just done in some kind of studio and this is like a miniature?
I don't know. Maybe. I mean, it could be.
You know what I'm saying? Like, just consider, could this possibly be a matte background? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Look, did the clouds move?
Look, the clouds look really. Weird. Look at the cloud in the bottom right where the
Look at the
explosion's getting
shadow on the cloud.
overlaid.
Look at the shadow on the cloud. Watch the clouds. See if the clouds move at all.
Bro, the clouds look so weird. They're like getting overlaid. They're like look like a glass overlay. Oh, that's weird. What? That cloud is like. Oh, that's interesting.
We saw the shadow on the cloud. I don't know, man.
That's weird.
I wouldn't doubt it if all that stuff up there, that is a matte background. I don't know. I could be wrong,
That's
but
sus. I don't know.
I'm saying that I don't know, just the way I would have thought it would work. Okay, so you drop this massive bomb, and when it explodes, the water goes, as the steam and all the cloud stuff comes up, the water is going crazy where this just happened. So those ships are already bobbing like corks in the sea.
Yeah, you would think.
But they're just completely level and stable. So they are completely stable looking. And then this cloud engulfs them. But they weren't getting wrecked before that.
I don't know.
So to talk about the ships for 1 second, during my research doing stuff about 9/11, so supposedly when the trade centers, obviously they took some of the steel after they collapsed and they melted down a symbolic amount in order to create the hull for the USS New York. And so I thought that was really interesting. So they painted this Phoenix logo on the USS New York, and we probably looked that up real quick. They painted a Phoenix logo on there. And
Human
the
sacrifice.
funny part about that is a US New York. And let me see if I can find the picture of it. Because that logo is, of course, that was my focus on my video about, well, here's the patch for it. See, you got a Phoenix. You got the Twin Towers here. USS New York. Yeah, that's
human sacrifice ritual.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, the mythology of the Phoenix is that it prays to the sun god Apollo, builds itself a funeral pyre, and allows Apollo to burn it to death, and then it rises from the ashes. It's a willing sacrifice to Apollo. So if you think about Statue of Liberty, Apollo, all the stuff, Apollyon.
Yep.
But that being said, so this was they made a special exception to call this ship the USS New York, because now they only call, I think, battleships, or not battleships, submarines. They don't name ships after states anymore. So they had to make a special exception for this ship to be the USS New York. Because there used to be a USS New York, and it was a battleship, and it was built on 9/11. Construction started on this ship 9/11, 1911.
That's not
you
suspicious
can't even make
at
that
all.
stuff up. and where supposedly the USS New York, that one, the battleship, is now, it's supposedly on the bottom of the ocean because they used that ship to test supposedly nuclear bombs on.
Of course.
So we sunk it. But the funny part about it is what they said. This is what they say. That the nukes did not destroy the ship. They were using it during these tests. So it was likely, whether that was real or not. If that was real, the USS New York was part of those tests around Bikini Atoll. And then later they towed it out and they actually sunk it, though.
Isn't that fascinating?
So like the nuke wasn't enough to sink it, though.
So they had to hit it directly or something.
Well, you know what I'm saying? Like, but isn't that kind of crazy? That doesn't seem like as scary as you thought. If you could be a ship that close to it in the ocean and it wouldn't sink those ships.
Yeah. Well, look at this. So yes, the U.S. military exposed thousands of sailors to nuclear radiation during tests. Most notably in 1946 during the Operation Crossroads at Bikini Atoll, sailors were positioned on nearby ships to observe and then ordered to decontaminate radioactive vessels without protective gear, leading to long-term health issues for the atomic veterans. So those people,
What did it say that what did they say they suffered from?
Well, those people were on. There was people on those boats. It
I know, but
says,
what did they? What kind of health consequences did they have? What did it say? Many
gosh,
veterans involved, subsequent, including cancers.
yeah.
Now, there
Well,
was one interesting thing, as I know my dad's
it's just the effect
stepdad.
of that happening. Like if you get burned over and over and over, your cells, guys, just so you know, like it's not radiation. It's literally just because of getting hurt like that. Like if you get burned, I'm gonna explain something to you guys real quick, simply. Like this is the same thing that like sun causes cancer. Okay, they tell you, right? So like what happens is you have telomeres at the end of your cells that kind of tell your cells to reproduce properly, and every time they get damaged, okay, or microwaved or radio waved or whatever, anytime they get damaged and they get mixed up from little microwaving blasts, okay, it causes them to mutate. Okay, so there's a higher probability that your cells are going to grow back in a perverse form after they've been damaged and cooked a little, because it will shake the telomeres off the end of them. So when there's severe um damage done to you by like with vibration, including the burns or something like that, it has a probability of your cells growing back in that area as corrupted DNA. Okay, does that make sense? I don't know if I explained that well enough, but so that's gonna happen no matter what. So like if I shot you with a torch, it's gonna do it. If you got microwaved, it's gonna do it. Anything that vibrates, by the way, because just so you guys know, like when a bomb goes off, that entire area will be radioactive. It doesn't matter if the bomb is a a bomb of whatever. Just to be clear, because people are gonna be like, well, what about the radiation? We can detect it, blah blah blah. Everything is radioactive, okay? Everything. There's the dude that ate the radium. What's his name? The dude, you know what I'm talking about? The guy that
Oh
eats the
yeah, yeah.
radium?
We were talking about that on he ate plutonium.
Plutonium. Yeah. Yeah. So he just eats it. And you're like, bro, what? That he lived fine and he didn't die from it. So like the thing is, there's this famous story of a guy who was doing some radioactive stuff and it blew up. And then he goes, well, that's it. And it's this famous story of this scientist, and like then he died and threw up his guts and whatever afterwards. But that I don't know if even that story is even true at this point. Like because I started looking into it a little bit more and I realized like, bro, there's blueberries are subtly radioactive. When something's radioactive, just so you guys know, that means if I take it and I put it next to a radio, it will give off microwaves that will cause a static interference. Okay, it's radioactive. Okay,
Isn't
it's
that something?
literally,
It doesn't have something to do with the way that they carbon date stuff. They use
well,
don't
that's
they test?
radiometric
They
dating.
test the
Yeah.
carbon degradation, right? The way it degrades, and don't they use some kind of a radio wave to test
Well,
it?
to detect the thing, it's radiometric dating. So they use the radio, how much radioactive material can ping off of it, because everything gives off a radio wave. Everything. Okay. So everything is radioactive technically to some degree. It's the frequencies that your body produces. So everything is subtly radioactive, just subtly. Okay. It's not like it's like majorly radioactive, but when things become major radioactive, they become
It says porcelain will set off a Geiger counter
there
for your
you go.
toilet.
Yep, there you go. Prime example. And so like I've got a Geiger counter. I literally have tested a bunch of stuff. So I've literally played with it and all kinds of things. And maybe I'll go grab it. I have one. Maybe I'll show it to people because it's cool. But the anyways, it's from like World War II or
Do
whatever.
you have like a PKE meter from like Ghostbusters?
Dude, I have multiple Geiger counters.
See if there's ghosts around.
Yeah. Yeah, we can do that.
I can
too,
see demon races going in with that, and it's like going into a house.
Yeah, right. No. But what I'm
Demons,
explaining
bro.
though, here,
My
yeah, it's
demon
demons
meter
for
went
sure.
off.
Yeah, the demon meter's ringing. But like, think about this: when a bomb drops, there is a radio frequency vibration that goes off. Okay, because it's shaking, right? The explosion, it's vibrating, it's shaking. So if something explodes, it's going to technically make everything vibrate and ring. And those things that are vibrating and ringing, there's materials that you can just two materials that naturally are radioactive because they just constantly vibrate and ring, a subtle ringing, and that ringing is what we call radioactive. Okay, it's the molecular vibrations of the things. When you mix two materials together, they have a reaction where they're radioactive and they're ringing. Okay, so like if we drop a bomb and it explodes, everything in that area that feels that explosion is going to have a little bit of that radioactive ringing of the vibrating of the molecules being like zzz, because it just shook violently, right? And so if you go in there with a Geiger counter, it doesn't matter what the bomb is, it's probably going to tell you it's radioactive. Like everywhere you go, it's going to say, oh, it's radioactive in this area, because everything from the vibration of the explosion is just going to be ringing. And so understanding that sort of perspective, you start to realize, oh, so this whole thing about radioactive is literally like nonsense. It's designed to scare you again. It's literally just designed to create fear. But there's microwaves or micro radiation waves technically, that can be dangerous, right? Because what it's doing is it's vibrating your cells at a micro level, and the more your cells get vibrated and damaged, the more their telomeres are about to break off, and the cell becomes corrupted, and then boom, it starts replicating bad cells. So that's what radiation does. It causes your cells at a higher probability to be corruptible or corrupt, and then potentially reproduce bad cells. But we have the name of Jesus. You just tell your cells to be back in order. I don't know. That's my theory, at least. But the
Well, I was going to say though that what's interesting though, my dad's stepdad was a captain in the Navy, and he developed Parkinson's disease later in his life. And I want to say that he knew several other guys who he served with who got Parkinson's too. I'm not sure if he was involved in any of that testing, but I mean, the truth is, we know that these guys, well, somebody mentioned in the chat, our own military gets used as guinea pigs a lot for stuff.
Oh, all the time.
So
all the vaccines and everything.
That's what I'm saying. So like a lot of, I want to say
well, that's why you're called a soldier.
Sales rep. Once had a sales rep that was saying that, he served in Iraq, I think. And he was saying that he can't give blood anywhere.
Wow.
Because they know isn't that really disturbing? You know what I'm saying? Like they would say that disturbing. you can't give blood. It's like, so what's wrong with my blood?
That should concern
it's like something like you never recover from. Because that's one thing about the body. God has given us a healing process. So like if they give you something that you could never give blood ever again, yikes.
That's definitely a disease of some kind. They've done something to you. That's not a good thing.
Yeah, but it's funny. So I did look this up, Brian. I looked up about what I was saying about the USS New York. And this is pretty funny though, because it confirms what I just said. Though it said that it was selected as a test for Operations Crossroads. I guess that's what they called it. She was used in a nuclear bomb test at Bikini Atoll in July 1946 with about 70 other ships, surviving both the Able and Baker tests.
Surviving them both. Wow.
Survived them both. Yeah, let me see. Look, bro, like this picture just looks so fake. I'm just telling you, man.
Such a narrative they've been spinning on us. It's so crazy to think how much they've lied to us.
Yeah, like, is that a real picture? Like, how would we know if that's a real picture or not? It doesn't really look real.
I don't know. Looks like a giant Christmas tree.
That's not from the bomb test, because eventually they towed it off the coast of Hawaii and they sunk it. But isn't that wild? So this thing survived.
You would think there would be a big
both
wake.
Tests.
You think there'd be like a big swelling wake or something?
That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. It's like that this sea is as calm as you could possibly imagine. Is it not?
Sea as calm as it can be.
Yes. Am I wrong? I mean, so it said,
there's people on those ships, dude. There's supposedly people on those ships that survived the blast.
So following the test, she was towed to Pearl Harbor to study the effects of the bomb blast on her. On the 6th of July, 1948, she was towed out to sea and used as target practice and sunk by several naval aircraft ships. Her wreck has never been located.
Yeah, because they couldn't blow it up with the atomic bomb, the atom bomb.
Those ultra scary hydrogen bombs.
Yeah,
but they couldn't even sink a ship.
That's pretty weak seeming in some regard. I mean, it's just a big water explosion, though. It looks like a big water party. and all those people survived, and they supposedly had some radiation issues, but again, that's why they're called soldiers. And I mentioned
Well,
this on one of my other
isn't that a little bit
videos.
suspicious too? Is the fact that okay, so they studied the effects of what the bombs did to these ships, but they didn't save the ships. They
Yeah,
just towed them off the coast of Hawaii and just bombed them. Used them for target practice and just sunk them to the bottom of the ocean.
yeah. Well, because they were radiated too much, JT. That's why, it's too much radiation. They're radioactive. Radioactive.
It's a little bit
Radioactive.
suspicious. It's a little bit suspicious.
Radio suspicious. I wanted to share this. This is, by the way, soldiers. The old, look at this. If you add a U to soldier, okay, it's soldier, okay, is where the word comes from, is an archaic and obsolete spelling of soldier. Oh, it's an archaic and obsolete spelling of soldier. Isn't that fascinating? Because it's soul dire. Okay, this means someone whose soul is dying. That's literally what this is. This is where the word soul dire comes from. Soul dire is soul dire. Just so you guys know. I mean,
Or
this is
sold.
etymological.
I mean, part of the word is sold.
Yeah, and you're sold. Yeah, for sure, that too. But it's soul and then dire. Dire is somebody that's dying. So it's literally just a dire. A dire, distinct meaning one who dies. Okay, that's literally it. One who dies. Soul dire. Okay, so that's literally where this word comes from. So you're a human sacrifice ritual. Like if you're a soul dyer, you're a soul dyer. That's soldier. You're a soul being whisked away to death. That's the point of it. You are a ritual sacrifice. That's what they're telling you are. They're telling you, like straight up telling you, you are a ritual sacrifice. And people are like, no, I'm a proud soldier. No, you're a soul dyer. That's what you are. And it's so sad and unfortunate because we test all these things on people, on soldiers, and give them this false narrative that like heroism of war is valid. Guys, heroism of war is literally nothing. You're set up to be killed. That's it. That's all you are.
Bro,
So it's very
you got to watch
unfortunate.
this other one. So there was two. I think what we showed was there was two tests that we were watching where they mentioned there was two bomb tests. This is the other one. This is what they call the Baker test. I forgot what they said the other one was named. But I don't know, man. I don't know if I believe. I don't know if I believe this is legitimate. You have to watch this. Tell me if you think this looks real.
Interesting.
That looks fake AF.
It looks like maybe part of it could be real, and then maybe I don't know, man. It could be. I don't know. It looks like it's just water though, dude. It doesn't look like, to me, it doesn't look that it's fake. It looks like it's just a big cloud. All they're doing is making a water cloud. That's
I
all
don't
it
know.
looks
Those
like to
first
me.
pictures, though, I think that looked incredibly fake looking.
The part of it, it looks like
this
it's
right here, that right there,
that right there, the cloud thing that comes afterwards. That looks interesting.
But the sea is just super calm.
Yeah, just chilling. Yeah, because all it's doing is it's a cloud maker, bro. That's what I'm saying. They're just making a cloud.
I think they had a cloud maker where their studio was.
They had a cloud maker in their studio.
It was right next to the Death Star when it blew up. You know what I'm saying? Like that looks like that. I don't know. I just don't think it looked real.
Yeah.
Those are like
but
the
I'm
only
not a
real,
soldier,
you know. So obviously there's other situations where they've got videos of the test out like in Nevada, right? You know, supposedly back in the day, you could drive out to the edge of Las Vegas, and you guys could just sit there and crack a couple cold ones open, and watch them test out bombs on the edge of Vegas. But the truth is, you know, I want to say Owen Benjamin was talking about this, and he was saying if they just put together, I don't know, like 10,000 pounds of TNT together and blew it all up at the same time, would it make a mushroom cloud? It's like we've kind of been trained to believe that when a nuke goes off, there's a mushroom cloud. So if it has a mushroom cloud, it's a nuke, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Isn't that pretty much all we need? But I'm sure that has nothing to do with what kind of bomb it is. It's just the fact that it's really powerful.
Dude, it's literally nuke the like button. Someone said, love it. Yeah, like it. Like the show. Help me grow, guys. I need support. I'm trying to go full time now, y'all. But the let's see. Yeah, this is funny. There's some other video I want to share too, actually, right here. This video, now for those that don't know, I put out a video talking about the Iron Dome. Is there more that we should do? Can I shift it a little?
No,
Or
you
should
can
we
talk about the
mention
Iron
more?
Dome. I think we've kind of exhausted it. I want everybody in the chat, if you guys are interested in this topic, please do some close examinations of what we do have on video and still pictures, because we already know that Rogan had that guy on, and it's very obvious that those tests were fake. Those were clearly miniatures. So see if you
Yeah.
can maybe find something similar about, like, because I mean, truth be told, that looked like what I saw. Particularly, I think that what needs close examination, very similar to the globe model when they show you the blue marble, you can see multiple clouds that look exactly the same. What makes kind of stands out to me, it looks like there might be a matte background and the clouds don't move. When you think the clouds would have totally changed if you had that massive explosion right there, right? Wouldn't they have all kind of blown out?
Yeah, I guess the clouds might have been for sure moved a little, at least.
They would have either moved or grew.
Something, yeah.
Because you had
like
all that steam and water going up
Yeah,
into the sky.
Yeah,
Just
definitely would
saying.
have had
So,
some kind of reaction.
we need all hands on deck. Let's
All
prove
hands,
this is
yes.
all fake.
To save us. Okay, so I'm going to share this other video real quick. Thank you for the donation, guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate you all. Okay, so let's see here. This is fascinating. So I shared this video and I started telling everybody that the Iron Dome was fake. It's like gone super viral. A bunch of people have been sharing it now, which is kind of terrifying slightly because I'm like, great. Now they definitely already were watching me before. They're watching me now for sure. Seems like, but whatever. It's needed to know. People need to know this stuff. Now, this other dude, he talked about it, and I'm just gonna play his video because like he started like calling out the fact that the Iron Dome is not necessarily legit.
Guys, I've just been threatened after I told you how much damage Iran caused to Israel last night. And I'm looking at possibly going to prison because of this. But first, 2 hours ago, I also just exposed Israeli Iron Dome interceptor rockets being fired up into the sky, going wrong, and then coming back down and hitting Israel, killing Israelis. Now, because of this, I'm getting in quite a lot of trouble. I'm exposing things about this war that you're not allowed to. I'm covering things that I'm going to get in trouble for covering. And now we're actually being threatened for covering this. By the way, if you don't know, yesterday, I officially got banned on TikTok. 3 years I put into that account, got over 300,000 followers, and it got banned like that for covering stuff like this. We are really being attacked here. But one thing I want to make very clear is no matter what happens, I am not going to stop. I'm not afraid of these people. I'm going to keep exposing the news, bringing you guys the news that you're not allowed to cover, that I might get in trouble for covering because I think it's the right thing to do.
I love that guy. That's epic.
However, there is a problem. TikTok was one of our only sources of income, and now we've lost that. And it means that I'm really unable to keep funding the making of the news videos that you watch. It's a full-time job. I spend 18 hours a day doing this. I'm up till 3 a.m. most days researching and bringing you guys the news, but I'm not able to keep doing it. There's also money that's got to go into the videos, whether it's video editing. Israeli.
I want to show this video
rockets
right
being
here.
Iron Dome interceptor rockets.
Look at this. He
just
shows the
exposed
video.
Israeli Iron Dome interceptor rockets being fired up into the sky.
It goes up. It literally goes up from the Iron Dome and then comes right
going
back
wrong
down and blows up right there. And
coming
like,
back
bro,
Looks like a NASA rocket.
killing Israelis.
yeah, just like a NASA rocket, isn't it? Look at that. And so like, there's so much footage of these Iron Dome rockets shooting up and coming down and shooting themselves over and over and over. And everybody, like, they saw my video about the Iron Dome being fake. They're like, that's so preposterous. And I'm getting attacked. It's fascinating because on Instagram, it's going viral. But on the platforms, on my Facebook, which I'm not very big, it's like literally all people saying I'm a moron and that I'm an idiot. And on X, same thing. And they're just like, you're an idiot, you're a moron. And I'm like, dude, if I'm the moron, let me ask you a question. Who's more moronic? Okay. The guy that questions that the Iron Dome's even valid, or the person that believes that the Iron Dome is valid and gives them $3 billion for the development of it, and then the people don't give us the code, guys. Israel literally said, you can't have our source code that we created. Why can't we have your source code? Why can we not have the code that we paid you to create? Okay, ask yourself that. Why can't America, who paid for this whole Iron Dome nonsense bullcrap, why can't we have the code that we have hired you to create? Like, there, you gotta be a moron at that point to not realize that there is something not right. Why can't we have the code? Okay, because the code, if you saw it, would reveal that the rockets shoot themselves, and occasionally the rockets shoot their own people. That's why you can't have the code. They don't want us to see the source code, because if we saw it, we would be like, yo, hey, you're shooting yourself with this. That's the reason why they won't give us the source code. Not because we paid $3 billion to create that technology, and they're not giving it to us. Dude, this used to be a big issue, and people are like, why won't they give it to you? Because it doesn't work. And we're seeing that it doesn't work very clearly with this Iranian attack. Boy, what's going on with
we don't
Iran?
need it.
Yeah, yeah.
We don't need. I mean, we don't need anything like that. It's stupid. I mean, you really think about it. I mean, again, if you believe nukes are real or not, the fact that they were going to put some kind of ballistic missiles in Cuba, we were going to fight because they were just putting them close to us. Because that's the truth, is like they can't hit us from anywhere close, because, of course, we have Canada above us and we have Mexico, and we're separated by vast oceans on every side of us. And it's not like other countries wouldn't try to get this technology. It's probably more like, yeah, it's probably more for show. And it's probably more for the idea that they want to make their own people afraid too. That's always that's always part of it. It's like we need this thing, makes it more like that we're in more of a dangerous situation. So yeah, that these Zionists like to scare the Jews everywhere.
They scare the Jews out of you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like they're being, you guys gotta understand, like, the Jewish people are brainwashed and manipulated just like everybody else. So people like, a lot of people be like, oh, the Jews are so evil, blah, blah. Bro, they're totally brainwashed into responding the way that they are. Like, they are being manipulated just like all the rest of us. It's just they're being manipulated as the bad guys, and they need to be like recognizing that they're being played, and they're a little bit more dangerous the way they're being manipulated, I think. But this right here, I'm gonna share this video right here, because this I gotta share. I shared it in my last video, but it's so obvious when you realize some of the things about the Iron Dome that are just like, I don't know. If you guys haven't seen my Iron Dome video, just watch the previous Iron Dome video that I posted. It's great. But this is just, it's so undeniable when he says this.
Or they could do any damage on the ground. You're looking at an Iron Dome missile on its way. You can't see the Hamas rocket it's going after.
Wait, what did he just say? You can't see the Hamas rocket it's going after.
It's cloaked like one of those Klingon ships.
Right? Exactly.
It's visible.
Yeah, and it's by the way, the Hamas rockets are only $500. That rocket that you're watching is like $150,000.
Right? Yeah. The interceptor missiles that they use, between like $100,000 and $150,000. Isn't that funny? That's sort of what we were just hearing recently from the United States too. It's like Trump is talking about how they're getting with all these 8 weapons manufacturers to ramp up. So it's basically saying like, oh, we're already out of missiles. So if you really think about it, the whole idea of like the Cold War was you bankrupt this other country by building up their arms. Is that what's happening to us?
Oh boy, is it?
You know what I'm saying? Like that. Yeah, if they're shooting up like a little pea shooter that costs nothing, and they get you to waste $150,000 every time you shoot one of these rockets, they don't have to hit anything.
Yep, it's all going into one man's pocket. Here, let's finish watching this.
You're looking at an Iron Dome missile on its way.
I love this video. It's great. It's my favorite.
You can't see the Hamas rocket it's going after.
No, you can't see it.
But watch how the missile will adjust its course to get close to the Hamas rocket and blow it up.
Oh! Oh! It just blew it up,
The
JD.
images of Iron Dome are even more spectacular.
Oh, wait.
This video was taken at a wedding in southern Israel.
It's a wedding.
Now, squadrons of Iron Dome missiles could be
There's the
seen hunting
invisible Hamas
salvos
rocket. You
of
see it?
Hamas
Ready?
rockets.
It's about to hit it.
The wedding music played on.
Oh, look at there. Just hit
Despite
it.
the
Oh, another
doctoral
one.
book.
Another invisible rocket. Oh, man. I'm so thankful that these Hamas
Do you think that
rockets,
people?
these Hamas rockets don't have fire trails. I'm
We just
really
watched
thankful.
them spend $1 million.
Yeah, I know. We just literally, yeah, for reals. We just watched them spend $1 million as a fireworks show during someone's wedding, guys. During someone's wedding. It's probably Netanyahu's niece's
Don't worry, we
wedding or
paid
something.
for it, so they're not worried about it.
Yeah, exactly. They're not at all. Which, guys, by the way, everybody's like, but rockets are real. Right?
In
I
Tel
know
Aviv-
rockets are real, guys. I know rocket technology is real. I'm very much aware of it. And yes, we do have some surface to ground air missiles and surface to surface or air defense missiles that do work subtly under specific conditions. We have now since created them because Israeli made this stuff. But you want to know the only systems that actually work that we know that work are lasers. That's it. So rockets chasing other rockets is like not plausible, not functionable, not very real. But we do now have laser technology where you can shoot the laser beams at the rockets and you can cause them to explode. And so that is a real technology. We do have that.
So what's
now.
the reason what they supposedly can't shoot down real missiles? Because
What do you
the
mean?
ballistic missiles are too. Is it because they go too fast?
Oh, they're just so fast, JT. They're so fast. But all rockets are so fast.
I would think that. Yeah, I would think that in general rockets are fast.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
that's kind of like what you call fast people. He's fast like a rocket.
Yeah, exactly. They're very
But
fast.
It doesn't shoot down the visible rockets. It shoots down the invisible ones.
Only the invisible ones are the thing is the Iron Dome can't shoot down the fast moving visible smoke trail with fire at the end. They can only shoot down the invisible rockets, JT. That's it. That's all they're good for.
And then and forgive me if I'm wrong, the ballistic missiles that you can see are actually way more
Real.
lethal.
Dangerous. Yeah. The ones
They
you
do
can't
way more.
see-
They also do way more damage.
Yes, exactly.
So
But the
like,
ones
what
you-
are they shooting down? Like RPGs?
That's the thing.
You know what I'm saying? Like
you
the
gotta
thing is like, so what is the point of like?
Well,
the-
JT, there's a lot of starving people in Gaza, and even though they don't have any money for food and they have no money for anything, and they're poor and their house has been bombed, they spend all their money getting rockets, and then they launch rockets over at Israel every day because they're bored. And even though they can barely eat and afford food, that's like their primary goal because they're evil people that just hate Israel. That's
what
that's
if
what's
what if
going
they're
on.
not rockets? They're just rocks.
Yeah, that's right. That's actually quite a bit more plausible at this point. Just kind of like, you see them with their same rockets is
Yeah, the
what they throw at the
Rockettes.
tanks.
Mhm.
Their rockets is what they're throwing. When the soldiers come in and they arrest the children and stuff, it's usually
He had a rocket
rockets.
in his. He had a rocket for an arm.
Yeah, he had a rocket. That's so
He had a
terrible. I
rocket
know we're
for an
laughing
arm.
about
He could
this.
throw that. He could sling that rock.
Oh my gosh, it's so terrible, but it's true, guys. This is the reality we're living in right now, guys. It's insane. So
And
let's see what else.
Escalon
it says.
feels safer today than they did 6 months ago.
But by far.
But fuck.
Ehud Barak is remarkable.
Okay.
in
Oh, that's
itself.
Ehud
like a
Barak.
bullet.
That's Jeffrey's buddy. Old Jeff
Is
Epstein.
he? Is he? Jeffrey
Yeah,
Epstein?
Ehud Barak was like
Oh,
staying
yeah,
at
yeah.
Jeffrey Epstein's apartment.
Oh, you're right. You're right. Yes. Okay,
Yeah, that's his boy.
that's Jeffrey Epstein's best friend right there. So let's
Pretty
let's
much.
see
Yeah,
this.
they lived together for a while. Or
Yeah,
he lived at the same. He lived at Jeffrey Epstein's
Mhm.
Manhattan
Rocket.
like mansion.
that's hilarious, guys. And so we believe this guy, Ehud Barak. Now let's just look at this.
Rocket traveling between 500 and 1,000 miles per hour is remarkable in itself. It's like a bullet shooting down another bullet, which is why when Iron Dome was
Like
just
a
a concept on a drawing
More like a
board
bullet
so
shooting a
years
gnat.
ago, many Israeli
We don't see-
strategists didn't
Because
think
we could see the rocket, we couldn't see the other one.
Found it extremely dramatic to make two bodies
I wonder how many children this man's raped.
meet together
Like,
when
such a
both of
terrible
the
person.
relative velocities are immense.
We understand that at the beginning, even the Israeli Air Force was against it.
Yeah, there were many corners of resistance because people didn't see it as natural.
Yeah, it's
To
not
see how
natural
Iron
'cause
Dome
it's
works,
not
we
possible.
paid a visit to one of Israel's 5
Dude, it's just all you guys do is just watch this 60-second, like watch the 60-minute Iron Dome. Just type in 60-minute Iron Dome. Watch the full video, y'all, because if you just watch it, you're gonna be like, oh man, that's so fake. And you realize it. And even the dude interviewing it doesn't even believe him. Like this guy doing the interview looks like a dude that survived. He went to war. And so he's like questioning this dude, and it's just so funny.
the battery commander. How old are most of your soldiers?
Between 18 to 21 years old.
Pretty young.
Yes, they're young.
And you're the commander?
I'm the commander. I'm 32. I'm with all.
You're 32.
Yeah.
So you're the old man here.
Yes.
So you're the old man here.
I'm the captain now.
Yeah. The captain.
Iron Dome's radar detects it, and its computers calculate where it will land. If it's headed for an empty field, Iron Dome won't waste an interceptor on it. But if it's going towards a populated area, the system will figure out the best place to intercept the rocket. So
The Iron Dome is so good.
got 3 to 5 seconds to decide whether or not to intercept it. And you have to do something. The soldier has to do something. It will not be automatic.
No. Yeah. It's not automatic. The soldiers are intercepting the rockets. They have to make decisions.
This is the Iron Dome.
So, like, bro, everything in this video is so disturbingly.
So they determine where the invisible rocket from Palestine is going.
Yep, exactly.
That's really got to be tricky because you can't even see it.
Yeah, exactly. You can't see it, but they know.
I think that there's one up there. I think it might be going to a field.
and they have to
Let's
push
just
the
hit
button.
the thing. I mean, wouldn't you just be kind of air? Like, I don't know, a field. What do you think? It kind of looks like a building. It's going into a building. Okay. This is not our. It's not our money.
Yeah, exactly. So it's not their money at all. Just another American, 150,000. Boom, tax dollars for America. Boom, boom. Like, bro, it's such a joke, and people are like literally like attacking me because it's like all you have to do is watch the statistics on this. You're like, but it's real. I've seen technology.
So you get 3
I
to
joined the
5 seconds to
military.
determine if it's going to go into a field or not.
Yeah.
That
3 to
doesn't
5
seem like
seconds.
That doesn't seem like a long time.
Yeah. Yep. And no, they have to push the
You gotta
button.
go binoculars.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, it's like
Field.
Yeah, field. Like they just go. It's like an alarm goes beep 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 beep, and then they've got like 5, 4, 3, and they just run over and just go, oh, fire, and then they just hit the button. Like that's pretty much it.
You can imagine where they said all these guys are 18 to 21 years old. They're probably like this.
Yeah, I know
Strapping
exactly
onto.
on their phone. Oh, whoops.
Just fire.
Yeah.
I mean, so what we're supposed to believe is this thing is just, you have the whole sky, and then this thing finds any rocket in the sky and it goes and shoots it. Like, do you have to aim near it?
That's the thing. Like somehow it can blow up. It can catch within such a close distance that its explosion can cause the incoming rocket to be so devastated that it blows up too. Like, are you kidding me, guys? Come on. Like even if that rocket exploded in the air, when the other rocket came by, that rocket could just very easily pass through its explosion. It's just so unfathomably ridiculous.
What do they say the success rate is? Because it'd have to miss sometimes.
It's like 90% or something.
Mm-hmm.
Which is just it's just a fairy tale. It's a fairy tale. And so, anyways, I explain this to people so that way they understand that we're all being brainwashed. Nukes are fake. Iron Dome is fake. All of this is all designed to bring about control mechanisms of wickedness. Okay? Evil control mechanisms to create fear, to create systems of fear begats wickedness, guys. Always. It begats wickedness. And
it also seems like a scam, bro.
What?
That any kind of rocket costs $100,000 to $150,000.
That's totally a scam. That's what I said. I was like, there's no way it's costing that much to make such a thing.
Well, it's kind of like, whatever you could charge for. I mean, you might be able to get that for, but by the time you produce this technology, you can't
Yeah.
replicate it for cheap.
No, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like you can't replicate it for cheaper than that. That seems like a lot of money.
It's totally way absurd amount of money to create something like that. It's a rocket, bro. It's literally, you can make this stuff. My buddy makes rockets. So I'm like, dude, it's insane.
What is a smart shooter?
Now check this out. This is what they're installing in Israel over on the Palestinian side at the gates. Now get this. They're called smart shooters. This is even more. This is real, by the way. This is real. And this is terrifying. And this is actually what they're trying to put in. And they're going to be putting it in everywhere, just so you know.
What is a smart shooter?
A smart shooter is connected to the computer and the soldier from inside of his room, inside of the chip. So he can basically shoot any of us now without the need of getting out of his room.
From a computer.
From a computer. But also what makes it also dangerous is that the checkpoint cameras are facial recognition. There is the blue wolf and red wolf, if you ever heard of them. So when I go to the checkpoint now as a Palestinian, the army know who I am because the camera takes a picture of my face, goes on the computer and gives them all my information. They don't need my ID to know who I am. So this is the red wolf. And the blue wolf is something that exists on the phone. It's an app. So they take a picture of my face and then they know who I am. They don't need to check my ID number. So if this smart shooter is connected to the facial recognition system on the checkpoint, and then they put people on this system that when the smart shooter sees them, that it's going to shoot them, this is dangerous because the soldier does not need to touch it. It just needs to see my face. It will point at me and shoot me. Like the other smart shooters that shoot people by moving. So this is what also makes it dangerous. Also, it's dangerous because it's a computer. So if something broke, any problem, any trouble with the computer,
problem,
yes, it shoots. They use it during clashes.
Kids have to go through a big metal gate like that. Children
exists now all over the West Bank. And the smart shooter, it started when they put it in Hebron, and now it's in a lot of cities around the West Bank. But they started with it in Hebron. So there is one here when you drive out through Arrub, you see on the military watching tower to the left, there is another one. So they have a lot of...
Is that military?
Yeah, it's a soldier.
Can I stop or do it?
Keep it going. It's okay. He's checking if the door is open or not. But yes, this is about the checkpoints. We have 24 of these checkpoints around the H2 part of Hebron. We're talking about 20% of Hebron that exists. That we have more 24 Israeli borders. It's not a checkpoint, it's border even. Around H2 area, which is under Israeli army control fully.
So, anyways, isn't that fascinating?
So basically, you go through a checkpoint. It eventually figures out who you are based on a face scan. And then so later, if they identify you some kind of enemy of the state, it can just shoot you without anybody even doing anything.
It's literally, that's exactly what it's doing. They're setting it up to where...
Yeah, that is definitely frightening. So an AI just decides that that's you and it's going to shoot you.
And the crazy part is they were able to install and create these kind of systems based off of fear. So they've used fear to create something that is more terrifying than any of it, like anything, because it's not like nukes. This ain't like nukes. This is literally automatic guns where you walk by. If they think you're a threat, the robot will just shoot you and kill you.
It's like Skynet, insane. Dude.
That exists right now. Like they are.
I know it's like
it's
straight up like from a Terminator movie that eventually it identifies them as a threat. Oh shoot! It's thinking everybody's a threat now. Take it offline. I tried,
bro. Right?
It's gained exactly. It's gained intelligence. It's conscious now.
Dude, and see, that's the thing. We're allowing this kind of crap to be created right now because we're not fighting against it, saying that this is wrong. You know, evil.
It's like Ultron,
exists.
Dude. It's like Ultron.
Yeah. Yes. They're making Ultron, and evil exists when good men do nothing. Like literally, and because we're not saying, yo, this needs to come down now, like ASAP now. The fact that there is such a thing as a smart shooter, that needs to be completely removed. Whatever that bullcrap is, out that goes now.
Well, like I
That
said, in
needs to be
America, we have all
gone.
those flock cameras now. And then so that you like so that technology exists and they might be using it
What's flock
openly
cameras?
in what's that?
What are the flock cameras? I don't know what
Flock
that is.
cameras are the things that are all over every street corner now. They're on all these poles and light poles and stuff. So supposedly what their justification is that they just identify our license plate numbers. But you know that they can see in your car, dude. Like you know that they have so like they have a grid where they can see basically everywhere in these cities now. Oh, it's
Interesting.
well, I mean, go look it up. Go look up how many flock cameras are in your town. Anybody in the chat start looking it up. It is frightening. Like
Wow.
there's cameras everywhere now.
Oh man, we had to install,
and they're
the
not
thing-
hiding it anymore. It's everywhere.
It's literally like problem reaction solution. It's like they create the fear though, and then you respond to the fear, and it creates the problem that justifies the means for them to put up more of this stuff. That creates more of the control. That creates more of the problem. Creates more of the fear. It's over and over. It's like a endless wheel, guys. And so we need to break out of the wheel. Like we should not be involved in Iran whatsoever. This is completely wicked. It is completely evil. What we're doing is so evil. And like, dude, we bombed a school of children. You have to be some level of spiritually retarded to not realize that that is so evil. Okay, you are that is so evil. I don't know what else to tell you. Like, you know, that is so wrong on so many levels. Like it's dude, you can't think for a second, oh, but it's God's chosen people. We gotta bomb them. We gotta bomb that school of children. Like, what is wrong with you? What is wrong with your spirit that you're that spiritually dead?
Yeah.
Dude, I don't know.
Yeah, well,
Anyways,
the interesting part is that we thought that Israel bombed that school, but it was us.
it was us. Yeah, the US did it.
Yeah, the U.S. did it. And you know what they said too? So Pete Hegseth came out with the Secretary of War. He came out and was bragging about how they torpedoed some Iranian ship. Did you hear about that story?
Nuh-uh.
So this ship that was coming back, it was coming back from doing these exercises. They had kind of this international thing somewhere around India where they were doing all these exercises. And so part of the exercise they were doing, they couldn't have any kind of munitions on these ships. So this ship was coming back from this thing, and so it had no weapons on it. And they said that America was participating in this too, so they likely would have known that this ship had no munitions on it, and they torpedoed it anyways. And then part of like basically like the Geneva Convention means that you're supposed to save the survivors and like make emergency calls so these people can get lifeboats and stuff and they can survive. But we did none of that.
Wow.
We just sunk some ship that was way far away from any kind of battling. And then it was up to like the Sri Lankan Navy saved some of the people there, but most of them died. That we torpedoed this ship. That was not a threat.
That is terrible.
And again, we're the good guys.
Yeah, we're the good guys somehow. Insane. Insane. But anyways, guys, well, that's all I got for today. I think we kind of want to discuss all of that. And next week we've got some more interesting other things that I'm going to share, I guess. But this seems like, I guess it's more pressing to understand that nukes are fake. So if you can, go out on the internet, share this video around, tell everybody that nukes are fake. So that way everybody knows nukes are fake. Yeah. And then that way we can be like, oh, yeah, that's what it is. It is fake. And we don't believe in it. Because, you know, the more we expunge fear, the better we are off as a society. And we won't have these issues that we're dealing with. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. Anybody else got anything else to say?
No, that's about it. Yeah, I would encourage people to do more research into it because I think this topic is interesting. So I'm not saying I'm fully convinced they're fake, but I would say I'm in the 90-something percentile saying they are. I want the proof. So I think that, again, like the people who like to poke holes in the NASA stuff, I think if we can really kind of analyze their evidence,
that's good,
and try to question it, I think that's the best way to go. So Yeah, those
Yeah.
videos. Yeah, so there's the Bikini Atoll test. What do they call it? Operation Crossroads. Look that up. We'll all do some research together.
Trish says she's got more for me. You can message me, Trish. Send me the info. And yeah, guys, you guys are awesome. I appreciate every one of you. Thank you so much for the donations and everything else you guys are doing to support me. And that's pretty much it. So have a good rest of your day.
Okay, one quick thing.
Oh, yeah.
Echoes of Truth Network. We have the Afterglow podcast is coming on 5 p.m. Eastern. So if you guys want to check that out, another good one.
Oh yeah. Oh, and also your website thing for your people.
Oh yeah. We also have the coaching program. So if you guys are looking to make social media content, if you guys are looking into it and you don't know where to start, Aaron and I are coaching some people. So if you guys are interested in that, we've already got a success story played on JT's mixtape. I know you said that video was lit, Brian, wasn't it? That first video that we had from coaching.
Oh yeah. It was great.
Yeah. Some good stuff. So if you guys are interested in that, check the link in my my bio or go to echoesoftruthnetwork.com.
Yes. And Fishers of Friends, if you guys want to make some friends and connect with each other, I'm building that community. It's still growing. I just added a bunch of new features to it. So find friends in your area, fisherofriends.com. You'll make some friends. I'm not making any money off of it. I'm just building it for everybody for funsies. But if you want to donate to me, thanks. Anyways, all right, guys. Have a good rest of your day and outro. I think this is how it works.
Okay.
Let's see if it works.
Let's go.